the part 2 antihypertensive agents. Next classification is arteriovenular vasodilator sodium nitroprusside. So upon administration, it will liberate nitric oxide. This nitric oxide will enters into the vascular smooth muscle. So where it will stimulate guanylyl cyclase enzyme. So the stimulation leads to the enhanced production of cyclic GMP. Now cyclic GMP will facilitate the vasodilatation, which leads to reduction of hypertension. Pharmacokinetics: upon parenteral administration, it will works within minute. It is having short duration of action. Pharmacological action: it relaxes both arteries and veins. In left ventricular dysfunction condition, it improves the cardiac output. It enhances the renin release because BP is reduced. Reflexly, it enhances the renin release. It will reduce both preload and afterload as well as myocardial oxygen consumption. Adverse reactions are hypotension, abdominal pain, weakness, nausea, and vomiting. Upon metabolism, it will liberate some cyanides. These cyanides are trapped into the RBC. It will carried it to the liver where it is converted into thiocyanates. There is no specific drug interactions. There is no specific contraindication, but use for emergency hypertension treatment it is useful, as well as any acute myocardial infarction it is useful. And next one is angiotensin convertase enzyme inhibitors enalapril captopril. Here mechanism of action are angiotensin 1 is converted into 2 by the angiotensin convertase enzyme, which is liberated from the lungs. So this 2 will causes vasoconstriction, increasing BP, aldosterone release, which will causes sodium water retention, fluid volume increases, blood volume increases, BP also further increases. Such type of pathway is inhibited when these drugs are given. They inhibit the angiotensin convertase enzyme. So also these activities will be reduced. BP also reduces. The same enzyme is responsible for the metabolism of degradation of bradykinin is an inflammatory agents. So if the inhibition is happen, so bradykinin accumulation takes place. Bradykinin will causes dry cough is the adverse effect. Pharmacokinetics are normal. Pharmacological action: in normal person there is a slight reduction in BP will be observed, but in a hypertensive patients there is a peculiar reduction in BP will be observed. It reduces both systolic pressure as well as diastolic pressure. It also dilates cerebral artery, renal artery, coronary arteries. In congestive heart failure, it reduces preload as well as afterload. So thereby it will reduce the congestion of heart. It improves the efficiency. In case of congestive heart failure, it also reverses the cardiac remodeling in CHF. It reduces myocardial infarction by improving the coronary artery blood circulation. It also improves renal function. Adverse drug reactions are dry cough, hypotension, especially observed in congestive heart failure, in diuretics but not in normal person, hyperkalemia. It rarely causes angioedema, that is swelling of eyelids, face, tongue and lips. It also causes fetal growth retardation. That's why it is contraindicated in pregnancy. When it is given with diuretics, it will causes hyperkalemia. With beta blockers, improves the efficiency. With NSAIDs and sympathomimetics, reduces the efficiency. It is contraindicated in pregnancy and renal impairment. Mainly used in treatment of hypertension, congestive heart failure, left ventricular dysfunction, as well as myocardial infarction, diabetic nephropathy, and angiotensin 2 receptor antagonist losartan, telmisartan. So angiotensin 2 acts on two types of receptors: angiotensin 1 receptor, which are present in smooth muscle, adrenal gland to release aldosterone, electrolyte balance. It is also responsible for the electrolyte balance. Angiotensin 2 receptor, which is present in fetus, adrenal medulla, as well as uterus and ovaries. Mechanism: they completely inhibit the angiotensin receptors. Due to this, reduced vasoconstriction takes place, reduced renin release takes place, and increased insulin sensitivity, reduced cardiac remodeling. Pharmacokinetics are normal. Adverse drug reactions are fetal toxicity, hyperkalemia, acute renal failure. Drug interactions when they are giving with diuretics and beta blockers, their activity will be increases. When given with NSAIDs, hyperkalemia will be observed. Sympathomimetics, it reduces the activity. So contraindication in renal impairment and pregnancy. So they are the alternative to the angiotensin convertase inhibitors. and they also useful in treatment of CHF, congestive heart failure. In diuretics, there is separate topics there, but under antihypertensive agents, I am going to explain. Diuretics, thiazide diuretics, loop diuretics, potassium sparing diuretics, their mechanism, overall their mechanism is they inhibit the reabsorption of sodium as well as water, promote the urine volume, so thereby reduces the blood volume, thereby reduces the peripheral resistance. Their outline mechanism is they inhibit the, especially loop diuretics inhibit sodium potassium chloride co-transport system in the loop of Henle. So potassium sparing diuretics, they inhibit the aldosterone binding site in the distal convoluted tubule and collecting tubes. Pharmacokinetics are normal, and adverse drug reactions are glucose intolerance, hyponatremia, hypokalemia, hypercalcemia, especially observed in the case of thiazide diuretics. Drug interactions, when they are giving with NSAIDs, anticonvulsants, their reduced reaction will be observed. When given with all other blockers like angiotensin convertase enzyme inhibitors, beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, reduce their reaction will be observed. It is contraindicated in gout as well as renal failure. Mainly used in various uses are there, but here as a antihypertensive agent. Thank you. This completes your antihypertensive agents.